Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlighten, Empowered, Evolve, where we educate you, motivate you, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I know everyone's doing well. Oh, I got a little tongue-tied, but I know everyone's doing well, and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited yet again because my next guest, as a teen, found herself drawn into the Source Family Commune, which was a cult led by James Edward Baker, also known as Father Yod or Yahweh. Wow. She is now an award-winning author with a tell-all book about her experiences in the compound, in the commune, by the name of My Name Was Mushroom, My Life as a Teenage Runaway in the Source Family Commune. She also runs a top insurance firm with her husband, Bart, and regularly volunteers at a children's shelter in Oxnard, California. Wow, amazing. And a whole lot more. But without further ado, I introduce to you Wendy Baker. How are you today, Wendy?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sometimes I get a little bit excited and my brain is working faster or my mouth is working faster than my brain. So,
I relate. Don't worry
yeah,
about that.
yes. But I know that my listeners do understand and they're appreciating this no matter what because I appreciate them. But yes, before we get started, I just want to say that I am a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets. So for you to spend some of your time here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, I just want to extend my sincerest gratitude to you.
Well, you're so welcome. And it is my mission to talk about what happened in my life and that made me a better person today.
Yes, yes. And if you don't mind me asking, let's get right into it. Let's dive deep into the deep end of the pool. Give us a little insight, framework uh, as to how life was. How'd you end up getting drawn into that source family compound, commune, cult? And how was life within the walls?
Well, what drew me into it was that I grew up in the 70s in Hollywood, and there was a lot of drugs, a lot of rock and roll, a lot of sex.
Right,
I was 14 years old and I just wanted something different.
right,
I had a very bad home life. I had a mom who was not present. And I had, basically growing up on my own with my three sisters who were not the greatest either. So I
right.
just was looking for something better. And I think there was a strong force within me that pulled me to a better way of life on a spiritual path and a healthy nutritional path. At least that's what drew me into it. Um, when I was there, it was amazing. It was beautiful. Uh, it was it was like a beautiful, loving family. Everybody had so much love, and there was healthy living, the food. We were vegetarians. And at
Mm,
that time, we were new at the organic phase and the vegetarian phase. It really was not popular. And people did look down on us
wow,
for eating like that.
wow.
Today, it's the normal. But
Right.
then it was not. We were way ahead of our time. Meditation, it taught me so much about my nervous system, about how my body works, how I think, how I calm myself, how I handle stress. So the meditation that we did every single day, and I mean starting at 4:30 a.m.
Wow.
and into the night, that was really good for me. It was very, very healing for me.
Wow.
the nutrition, the food, and then the practices. They were all very healthy. They were, like you work and you put everything into your work, into your job. We all worked at the Source
Right.
when you
Right.
first joined the family. And when you worked with incredible ethics. And, it just taught me so much at such a young age. And I drew to that. I believed in that. And I wanted to leave home. I wanted to leave school because I felt like I was suffocating in school. And I felt like at home it was just a very negative atmosphere.
Mm.
I did not have a home life like the normal person would have. It was when I realized how a mother I am today, you know, it was completely the opposite. So, that's the best way I could describe why I joined. What it was like. That's a lot what it was like.
Right.
It was a spiritual boot camp. It was tough. It was intense. It was it was like going to the army in a spiritual way with
Wow.
with nutrition and health and yoga and meditation and just giving up your ego and following the rules. It was very intense. It wasn't just all fun and games. It was intense.
Wow. That sounds absolutely amazing the way that you described it. But I'm sure there was some other things on the other side of the spectrum that caused you to want to maybe get away from that. Or I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Now you have a book that is telling some experiences about this. And could you give us a little framework in regard to the book, the title again, and kind of tell us a little brief summary as to what it's about?
Well, the title of the book is My Name Was Mushroom. I actually had four names in the commune, and I'll tell you why in just a minute.
Okay.
The subtitle is My Life as a Teenage Runaway in the Source Family Commune.
Okay.
It's a wild story. You can't make this up. I had a different experience than anybody else that joined the Source family.
Right.
I joined and my mother didn't want me to. So she took me to court while I was in the Source family. And I was, at that point, I think I was 15 because I turned 15 after I ran away. And she took me to court and not even thinking um, what the outcome was going to be. But basically, what happened was the courts deemed my mother unfit as a parent,
Whoa.
and they took me away from her, and they made me a ward of the court. So my whole experience in the Source family became a lot more complex than I'm going to say anybody else in the family to the
Wow.
level that I experienced it. And the story is in the book. It's intense. It's so crazy. I don't know how much you would want me to reveal, but that kind of set the stage of my whole 5-year experience in the family when I became a ward of the court.
Wow. That's amazing. And just to, from my perspective, I would gather that your mother didn't expect that to happen.
I can guarantee you that she
Yes.
did not expect that at
Yeah.
all. It was a complete shock to her, to me, to anyone that was there. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow. Can you hold up that book again so that our
Sure.
people that are viewing can see it?
Can you
Yeah.
see it?
Yes, yes. We can see the whole thing now. Yes, amazing. And could you tell us where we could find that book?
Okay, so my book is sold everywhere.
Okay.
Bookstores, Barnes and Nobles, and some, little bookstores. I don't know, where are you located? In what state?
I'm actually here in California.
Oh, okay. So it is in the bookstores. I sometimes I find it, sometimes I don't in the stores.
Okay.
But if you ask for it, they can get it for you. But it's also on Amazon.
Amazon.
It's hardback, paperback, Audible, and Kindle. And the Audible is narrated by me.
Right.
So it's my voice telling you my story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
authored by Wendy Baker, right?
Correct. That's
Yes. So
correct.
everyone
Sorry
can,
about that.
no. That's obvious though. It's your book. So
Right.
yes, I
Right.
just want for those that are just listening on the Audible platforms to be able to listen and hear, how to obtain your book. And the title again is My Name Was Mushroom. And what else?
My life as a teenage runaway in the Source Family Commune.
By Wendy Baker. Go on
Correct.
Amazon and get that. And I
Yeah.
will be sure to incorporate the link of your book in the description of this segment when I edit it and upload it so that
Sure.
everyone can just click right on it and get right to your book on Amazon,
Right.
whether Kindle or the like
Yeah.
hardback
And
version.
also if you listen to the Audible and I'm talking, it's very emotional for me to
Right.
go back into that part of my life. I hope I did a good job,
Right.
but it was very, very difficult.
No,
So,
I think in my perspective, anytime you come from the heart, there's
mhm,
nothing that beats real experiences, and that's what people want to hear. And I think from my perspective, and I'm speaking from for myself to myself as well, that I love hearing, stories that people made it through something,
mhm.
stories of survival, of resilience, and I don't even, you know what's all in your book, but I can tell that those are in there,
Yes,
So yes, and I believe that's something that connects us all because we all have something that we go through. Maybe not as intense as that, or maybe more
I
intense,
hope
but I
not.
think we can all relate to
Yeah,
stories of yeah. And I think that narrative is never going to not make a connection with people because yes, you're coming and you're opening your heart. So yeah, you did do good. So
thank you.
yes, amazing. So I want to ask you a couple of questions that
Okay,
I have here. So and I'm glad. Yeah, I didn't want you to go too deep into what your book because I want people to get it. So
right. So I'm
but
going to try to be careful.
yeah, you set it up
I
so that it
know.
it makes it interesting. Like, hey, I want to know what happened.
Oh
So no, you
boy.
did a great job of that. But I'll ask you a couple of questions here. What are your biggest takeaways from your time within the Source family? And would you do it again, given the chance?
Ooh, that's a good question. I learned how to eat properly.
Okay.
I took that away. I still meditate today. Um, I keep a positive attitude. I try not to get too much ego involved in my decisions. I listen to my sixth sense.
Mm,
I'm just look at things like as a movie. It's a game. I don't take things too seriously.
wow.
And I learned that like you had to when you live with 144 people. You just can't get a personality involved, And I've taken that with me. I appreciate all that I have. I also try not to be attached to material things. So those are probably my most valuable lessons that I have taken away from the Source family. Oh, and I can sleep anywhere. I don't care. It could be a floor. It could be it could just be anywhere. I lived in a tree once in the
Oh,
Source
wow.
family, in a tree house that we put together and made.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pretty adaptable. I adapt with change easily. I don't resist. It's pretty powerful.
Great qualities to have. And
Yeah.
I can resonate with with everything that you just said because
Yeah.
I incorporate all of those as well. The
Oh, wow.
meditation, the non-attachment, the remaining open, going with the flow, just everything that you said. It
Yeah.
sounds like home to me.
Well,
Okay.
then, and then the next part of your question, would I do it again? Don't forget that part.
Yes. Would you do it again? I apologize. Yes.
No,
Would you do it
that's
again?
okay. That's okay. So I'm 66 today,
Wow.
and I would not do it again.
Wow.
It would probably, it could probably do me in.
Yes, but
I
you
enjoy comforts today, and I enjoy having the say in my life
right,
and being in charge. Yeah. So
right,
no, I wouldn't do it again, but boy, was it fabulous when I did do it.
right. And don't forget, if I may add, and tell me if I'm wrong, but that gave you contrast in life, in your life, and it also helped to develop who you are today.
Quietly, it did.
Yes.
I seriously did not talk about it for over 45 years.
Right, right.
It
I
was
get it.
stuck inside of me. But now that I've been talking about it so much, podcasts, book signings, just lots of different venues. It's healing. It's all good. I'm
Therapeutic.
enjoying it. Yeah, therapeutic.
Absolutely. Okay, I have another question here.
Okay.
How was having a daughter at the age of 16 such an uncertain time in your life? How did it change you? How did that?
Well, I don't recommend anybody to do that. Number one, it was life changing. Um, I had a lot of, I call them sisters in the Source family that were older
Right,
than me. I was the youngest one there as far as somebody who could be a part of. There were children, but I was like the youngest of the group of people, that could do those things. And it was very difficult. I was I was in shock, and I sought out help, from my elder sisters of how to do this, how to do that. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but also the most rewarding thing that I've ever done. One of the problems is that the man that I was with, his name was Starman. I
oh
was
wow.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I was just saying, oh wow. Starman. But that,
Yeah,
and I don't mean to cut your flow off, but
that's okay.
I'm a fan of like the 60s and the 70s, the culture and the music. So that makes sense to me. Like I listen to the Doors and things like that. So I know about those type of names. So go
Well,
ahead.
we were all given once we came into the family, we were given a name.
Oh,
And
okay.
that name is supposed to give you the energy of that name. So you leave your past behind, which we
Right.
called the Pisceans.
Mm,
We had this whole philosophy. It was quite interesting.
right.
And so we became Aquarians.
Oh,
So my first name was Lila for 2 weeks. Then my name was Nirvana. And
mm,
my name was Nirvana for over a year. And
wow.
then it became Mushroom for an interesting reason. And then it ended the last year. My name is Heartstar.
Wow.
And
Heart
so that's
star.
why I
Wow.
titled the book, My Name Was Mushroom, because I really did have other names. And a lot of people in the family identify me with either Mushroom or Heartstar. But anyways, the man that I was with, I was very insecure with him.
Right.
So here I have this child with him, and it was an insecure time for me. So that was very difficult
Mm,
to, having a child. But I did have a lot of support and lots of help. So I
wow.
got through it. And so all is good today. She's an amazing daughter. She's going to be 50 this year,
Wow.
because obviously I'm 66. She's going to be 50. So that's weird. I'm not sure she likes that very much because we don't look like mother daughter. Um, but yeah, I have the best relationship with her. Her name is Stardust.
Oh, wow.
So Stardust was from Starman and Mushroom.
Wow.
She
Amazing.
made it. She made it. She had a great life.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have another question. What do you hope to gain by sharing your story with the world?
Well, at first, I really didn't write my book for the world. I
Right.
wrote it to leave a legacy for my family because they didn't know what I went through. And I
Right.
thought it would be good for them to know and my grandchildren. But then it became open to the world
Right.
because I felt that for all those women out there that have a child at 16, 17, or, a young age, don't let the world tell you statistically you can't make it.
Right.
Don't let people influence you. Do what you know is right and push on through and achieve exactly what it is that you want to achieve. And don't make it a mistake because it's not. It's all there's a purpose for everything.
Yes.
For a while, I was afraid to tell people how old I was, having such a young child. And that was I should not have done that, but that was
Right.
my intellect at the time. But
Right.
today, I hope to help young mothers, which there are a lot of. I hear it everywhere that, you still can achieve great things and be a great mother.
Wow. That's very empowering and inspiring. And I'm
Good.
not a mother, but if I were, I would be very, I mean, that translates to me too, as well as a father listening to that.
Sure.
So it's amazing. And I appreciate that. Wow. Wow. So your husband, Bart, uh,
Mhm.
he wasn't in that Source family.
No,
No?
he was not in the Source family. But he's the one that introduced me to Jim Baker, also known as Yod and Yehoah, because you called him James. Everybody called him Jim Baker, but
Jim.
yeah, Jim Baker was Bart's father. That's how I got the last name Baker.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was like, are you related? Because you have the same.
Yeah.
So you've known Bart for quite some time.
Yeah, the story is in the first chapter of the book. I met him when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
and and we dated at, up until we were like 13, and he introduced me to his dad, and before his dad even started a commune, I knew him.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing. And
but then he was not in the Source family
no,
because his mother would never let him. His mom and dad were divorced, and he was not allowed to be in the family. Um, so for 5 years, I had not much of a relationship with Bart at all
in your
until I
perspective,
left.
was that a good thing that he wasn't allowed to be in that?
He says that he could never compete with all the men because most of the men were 18 and older.
Right.
So they were considered, and he was only 14, 50. He was just, a kid like me.
Right.
And he didn't feel like he could really pull it off. Part of him wanted to join because he loved his dad so much and he wanted to be with his dad. But then the other part of him just didn't feel right about it. I think he would have survived. He's amazing. Like he would have been able to handle the whole testing of stuff that we went through. I think he could have done it.
Wow. Wow. Yes, I'm very much interested. And you know what? I'm going to tell you right now on right here live. I'm going to order your book because I want to know now because I did a little research before I had you on and
Uh-huh.
just even the, you know, this is your book, but even in connection with Jim, it was ironic how he passed away hand gliding.
I know.
I mean, I read he had never had any hand gliding experience,
I know.
and then he tried it, and boom, the first time. And
Yeah.
that's
Well, that was just so ridiculous. Like I
right,
never got that. To this day, I don't get that.
right
Why he would do such a dangerous thing like
thing.
that.
And were you still in it when
Yeah.
that happened? And
Yes.
how did it hit you guys? I mean, how
Hard.
you guys and girls
Yeah.
hard?
hard. It was the first time I had experienced somebody that I loved very, very much pass away. It tore my world apart. It devastated me.
Right.
Um, I was traumatized
And he had
by
moved
it.
all of you to Hawaii.
Right,
Right.
right,
And when this
right.
happened, how long were you there before that accident happened?
Well, we were on many of the different islands,
Okay.
but that was the last island we were on was Oahu.
Right.
So we were oh no. I take it back. We were on the big island of
Right.
Hawaii when that happened. We probably were there. Time is so strange to me during then because I was so young,
Right.
and I'm going to guesstimate 6 months that we were
Okay.
there on the big island when that happened.
Wow.
So, I'm not really good with timelines.
Right. No, that's fine. And
Yeah.
I think you just have an amazing story to tell. And that's why I'm inspired myself to pick up your book and read it. And because
Thank you.
you experience such, I can't even put it in words. I mean, a lot of words,
Mhm.
a lot. You experienced a lot. Let's just simplify
Yeah.
it
In a short amount of
in a
time.
short amount of time.
Yeah.
And wow. So yes, I definitely I am definitely curious, you know,
Good.
in regard to
Good.
your
I'm
story. And I
glad.
think, yes, you definitely, yeah, you got me wanting to know. So I want to
Good.
read that book and then possibly have you back on here again after I read it. So
Then
that's
you'll have
amazing.
more questions.
Yes, then I'll have more questions like, wait a minute, I read this part where you did this and that and that.
Right.
So how did yeah,
Yeah.
so I can imagine that.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. So while I have you here, like I mentioned before, I'm going to incorporate your link. But are there any, you know what? I didn't ask you. We have about 7 more minutes to go, but
Mhm.
how did you your husband and you, Bart and you, uh run a top insurance company now? How did that come about? Can you give us a little bit of insight on how did that develop? And
Well, I'll tell you for sure, we didn't grow up saying, I want to be an insurance agent. We did not do that. Actually, my husband became a fireman for LA County.
okay,
He was a full-time fireman and then an engineer. And my husband was always driven by money and success.
right,
And so we played tennis with this guy um, who just had this beautiful home and just a great lifestyle. He was an insurance agent.
wow,
So my husband said to me one day, we're going to be insurance agents and we're going to own our own agency. And I'm like, great, let's do it. And we both started from the very bottom and just worked our way up to over, I don't know, 9,000 clients. We have a big agency in Malibu,
wow,
and he is one of the top agents. We both work at it. We're both agents, and we have a full staff, and it was just a great way to get to where we wanted to go. And
very lucrative,
yeah, it was just, you do what you got to do to survive
right?
and to be successful in the way that you want to be.
Be
But
successful.
like I said, he first was a fireman, and I owned some other smaller businesses because like you, I would do anything to make money. I could have been Miss Loot.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, because
As
I
when
did
I
a lot of stuff. I would drive kids to school, make money. I would babysit, make money. I would clean houses to make money. I would do whatever it took to make money to feed my family.
Yeah,
And
I want to clarify something to our listeners because they're getting the telling of the story because you said like you I would do anything to make money. That's
I'm
not
sorry.
now.
No,
That's
no,
how
that
I
was the
was
past.
explaining to her, giving her a little insight on how I acquired my name as a young boy, as a teen, and it was because I was a considered myself a young entrepreneur. I was starting my own businesses at that time. Not licensed businesses, but I had a car washing service. I had a landscaping service. I would just do whatever I could find to earn some money. That's what I had a paper out at that time. I'm sure I think that's kind of obsolete now, or very little, but yeah, I did everything. And so they start calling friends and people in the neighborhood start calling me Loot, as in reference to money, because yes. So that's where
Yeah.
that comes in. Not
Right,
that I do
right.
anything to make money now, but yes.
Yeah. Well, now it's different. We're successful, we're
Right,
thriving,
right,
we're doing great. The book is secondary.
right.
But
Name of your
yeah,
insurance company, if you don't mind me asking. Do you
it's
want to put it out there?
yeah, it's pretty much BW Baker Insurance Agency.
Okay, BW Baker
So the
Insurance.
B stands for Bart and the W stands for Wendy.
Oh, wow.
If you
BW.
want to know. Yeah.
Yes, yes, of
Yeah.
course.
We're in
Absolutely.
Malibu, but we service 25 states and all over Los Angeles and
And
all over the place, California.
what type of insurance, if I
All
may ask? Oh,
all of
all
it.
insurance,
And
auto insurance, life
financial
insurance.
service, life insurance, financial services, medical, personal, like homes, auto, mobile homes, motorcycle, you name it, we sell it. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yep.
right.
Yep. You could look
So,
it up.
yes, I will incorporate all those links in there. While we're here, before we conclude, do you want to share a website or anything audibly here right now?
Well, our website is BW Baker. Is it bwbaker.com? I mean, everybody has a website. We have a website.
Okay,
So if they just look up
bwbaker.com.
BW Baker Insurance Agency, it'll pop up our website.
Okay.
But yeah,
I will incorporate all.
sure. Why
I
not?
have a few links that was sent to me. So I will make sure I'll put them all in the description of this segment so that everyone can find everything and click on it. And also your book. I will make sure that I get that link to your book myself, or either,
Thank you.
yeah, I'll get it and then put it in there. And definitely. So, yes, thank you for coming on today. Again, I appreciate you very much. Appreciate your story. I appreciate your energy. Appreciate you, just the way you articulated everything. It's just you paint
Thank you.
a vivid picture. And yes, get that book. And thank you everyone for watching and or listening. Be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button. Check out the Enlightened Empowered Evolved website at 333empower.com. And yes, if you think you'd be an amazing guest for the show, send an email to 333empower@gmail.com.
That's
Love and,
great. Thank you. Thank you so
yes,
much for having me.
love and appreciation to everyone. See you soon. Enlightened Empowered
Okay.
Evolved.